All right. Welcome back. This is going to be chapter 8. It's going to be a very short chapter. Rational choice is incredibly difficult, so I'm not going to ask too much of you guys about knowing sort of the intricacies of rational choice. I know there's a lot of like theoretical modeling in this chapter. Don't be too scared of it. It's not as complicated as it looks. It's really about okay, the rational choice model says that V, which is the likelihood of voting, equals P times B minus C. Okay? So V is the likelihood of voting equals P, which is the probability of affecting the outcome of the vote, times B, which is your benefit from voting or the utility of voting, minus C, which is the cost of voting, right? So it looks really complicated, but it's a very simple mathematical idea, a theoretical idea. It's really not even math, right? Those are just instantiations of terms that sort of help you understand in a formalized way sort of what Downs and Arrow and some of these other famous rational choice modelers like Blaze are doing, right? So again, V equals P times B minus C. V is the likelihood of voting. So that's what we're trying to figure out. That's our dependent variable. Are you going to vote or are you not? Equals P, which is the probability that you will affect the outcome of the vote, right? Could you be that one vote that puts somebody over to actually win the election? Which is remarkably rare, right? So most political theorists say that that P term kind of screws up the whole rationale of voting. That's what Downs said, right? That your probability of affecting the outcome of the vote is so infinitesimally small, multiplied times the benefit of voting, right? That you would get if your candidate won. That you're more likely not to vote than you are to vote, and that's why Downs is such a sort of pessimist about voting outcomes. So anyway, um, again, P is the probability of affecting the vote. B is your utility term, your benefit from voting, right? Do you feel wonderful because you're participating in your democratic responsibility? Is your candidate going to win the election and put through the policies that you want to see, etc.? And then C is the cost term. The costs of voting could be anything from like information gathering, right, which is not cheap. It takes time and it takes effort to learn about the policies of each politician, sort of the intricacies of the election, how likely the election is to be close. Are you in a close district or are you in one of these gerrymandered districts where like only a Republican or only a Democrat could ever win the race? What are some other costs of voting? Maybe paying for a babysitter so that you can go and do your voting, the gas it takes to get there, the time and effort it takes to get there and stand in line to vote, etc. Right? So Downs says that the probability of voting is so infinitesimally small, the probability of affecting the vote. And then the costs are so exorbitantly high compared to the benefits of voting that you're very unlikely to vote. Okay? One thing that Downs does say, though, is that, right, the closer the P term, the more competitive the election is, the more likely that one vote could affect the outcome, the more likely you are to turn out. And this is one of his frustrations with sort of the single member district system, the first past the post system that we've talked about. So it goes by a lot of names: SMD, single member district, first past the post, majoritarian. It has a lot of words, right? But that's the American system where one person comes out of each district. You just have to win a plurality of the votes to win, and you're the only party that takes a seat, right? He says that under those conditions, and especially given the gerrymandering that occurs in a lot of these states, you're very unlikely to get sort of a close election, right? And so that depresses voter turnout in America. I forgot where I was going with this. I'm so sorry. But anyway, oh yeah, competitive elections. The closer you are to being able to actually affect the outcome of the election, say in a really highly competitive race, then you're more likely to turn out, right? That's all I've got for you for this chapter. It's pretty short and simple. I thought I should spend a little minute explaining how the model works and what are the integral parts of it. That's about it for rational choice modeling, and I will see you for the next chapter. Have a great day.